CPOP, Pop Culture, announcing $6 million registered direct offering at $1.20 each. Charlie Papa, Oscar Papa, CPOP. Shares of Pop Culture Group moving lower here now, $1.30, down 75 cents. Charlie Papa, Oscar Papa on that offering pricing at $1.20.
Hey guys, for those of you that are here, good morning. You do not need to adjust your monitor. The professor is on. Let's see. So I've been working on the new scanner to, if you missed yesterday's, so we're going to be dealing with, and happily so, a new PDT rule, which means you only need $2,000 to trade on margin. I'm sure that Charles Schwab will go along with that. If not, you'll see me hop platforms to something else so that everybody can trade along with me. But I'm pretty sure they're going to do it because they're like the leading platform in the world. So we'll wait and see. But what we need to do is we need to talk about finding stocks that move in this level 2 range that I like to see, where within 10 to 15 seconds you're moving 10 to 15 cents, like you're swaling up and down, so you can still have to take the advantages of the same quick in and out recoil buy and sell movement, which is the essence of all scalping, right? It's just different people do it different ways. To me, I think that's the safest, most effective way. If you don't add shares, it's even safer if you just keep to one share size, but it does take away some potential opportunities. So I'm developing a scanner. I just did some coding this morning that's going to pick that up, and we have a price range from $10 to $100 here. Well, it's thinking. I had it scanned already, but now it's thinking. As you can see, when it's like that, oh, it should have come up. So I don't know what just happened there. Still got to tweak this a little bit, but this should have come up with, here's what I already scanned and came up with, and it's on a watch list. Why suddenly now it's not coming up with that is a little freaky. I don't know what's happening here. But basically, I'm trying to make sure that it's moving 15 cents up or down within a 1 minute candle. And yeah, I don't understand why it's not picking up the scan. That's annoying. So I just added this in, and I wonder if it has something to do with that. Let me check that off for now and scan and see if that, yeah, that was it. So I've got to work on that code, I guess. It has the same basic stocks. This one's a new one. Interesting. Oh, I think, is that what he just mentioned on the news? CRNX? I think so. Was that what he just said a minute ago? Did I say CRNX? Yeah, pharmaceutical company. So that spiked the scanners. Now, we don't want to get into this being like we're trading momentum. I mean, there will be a time for that I'm probably going to show you guys that because I still do that. But that's a far riskier, and you're usually just going long, not long, short, long, short. So this is easy to borrow. Now, I'm not jumping around because I don't plan to trade the open, really. Let me just look to see how things are here. I will take a look at it briefly just to see. Tesla, to me, seems like it would be a good stock to go long for at the open, just judging from the news and where it's at right now. I think it's near its new low, should I say? It's newer low the way it's been trading lately. Kind of this is the lower level down in here. Like, well, 409, not too long ago, 409, right? There's 367, but it's kind of been in this area here. So this is sort of the swale down. It's back up. I wish it was down here, but if it was a dip, this would probably be a good one to trade at the open if it started with a dip. But you have to be ready to hold. You know, you got to be ready to hold into $100, $200, $300 move, even with 50 shares. I mean, you know, you got to be saying to yourself, I'm okay to go down because I think it's going to go back up. So it's not really a scalp when that happens. I mean, it's more like a swing or a day trade. So you just have to be ready. So that's a little risky to try to do that with at the open. Well, everything at the open's risky. I say don't do it. Do not do it, even if you see me do it. That's what I say. But I know tons of you still do it because you tell me you do it all the time. I'm going to get rid of this noise. We have 7 minutes, and I'll get back to... I just couldn't do it. I just had to come look at the open. It's because it's fun. You know, I find it to be fun, which is not the best way to invest in the stock market. But that's just me. That's what you get with me. And I say, don't do it. So it's up to you guys to control yourselves. I'm just trying to take a look at this. If this is going to be, I feel like everything with the fact that the government shutdown's about to happen, I feel like, or may be about to happen. Everything going long is a little weak right now. So we, as scalpers, we've got this intraday quick action we can take when all these things are going on in the world of the government that helps us deal with it, right? So we can deal with what's going on. Let me smooth that. Levels hits here. That's your pre-market, but I don't know if I'd mark that. I guess I will. We don't have a lot to go by on this if I went ahead and did this morning. Let's take a look at Apple. Is Apple up here? There it is on the scan. I'm looking at my other scanner. So that was some intraday trading a while ago on that. So let's remove that. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth doing the fibs right now. 257.40. That's our high. Almost hit it there and then rejected a little bit lower. Here's where we're in this area now. This actually is a decent looking stock to go along with. What's the news on Apple? That is a good catalyst, Jim Cramer. So that just was this morning. There's a 1,000-person line. In Europe, we call that a queue. Yeah, that would be a good dip and rise there, especially since it's pulled back here. And this is lower than it has been, you know, just the last few days. Now, it's higher overall, you know, this month, definitely. But you can see it was at 157. Let's do another cut. I'm going to take a look at this one at the open, guys, just to see if there's any kind of an opportunity for a brief short trade. Brief trade, not necessarily short. I would tend to be long buys. Look at that dip right there. Hit that and turned around. So if it dipped down anywhere near that level, either of these levels are good. They would be the call out of like, it's get in, you know, and try and give it a good shot. Now I could put those on the ladder. 100 shares seems about right for this. Am I still on pre-market? No. Okay. I was doing mostly coding this morning, but I did do some early pre-market. Wow. So it did respect that level as it came across there. I was looking at that as a very strong level on historical data that I thought it might be, and it seems like it did do it. We have it today on the 1 minute on the market magnet. That doesn't matter. So I'm going to veer away from this after the open. And I may not take a trade at the open. Just going to look at the price action to see if there's a dip, I might do it, you know. So we have just 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, roughly. My new computer has not arrived yet. I'm annoyed. Again, welcome. This is Professor with Day Trading for Success for our nice little crowd. And we're going to be going over new scanners today, as well as new indicators, as well as trading live. And I'm about to go into potential trade here at the open, which I don't recommend. Look how it hit that. Okay, so now it broke it. So now we look to the next one to see if we're getting a dip first, and we don't have any news that would say that should be happening. No historical data that says that should be happening. I think that the overall state of the market in the U.S. does bode more for a little bit of a downward trend here. As you see here, the QQQ, the SPY, everything's down on the pulse indicator here, market pulse, which is kind of what I feel, but we may get, because of that news story and the I-17, we may get this to get back up and closer to the 257, 258 today. It is Friday. It is Options Friday, so I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Really? Can you?
1 minute to the U.S. market open.
There you go. Not 1 minute yet. It's 1 minute now. Is my clock out? No, this is Thinkorswim's clock. This isn't off. Well, let's see. Now you see different stocks on the scanner down here, below here, on the ticker, because I've set that for the to start to get the new PDT rule stocks that I will be trading, and we're going to be beta testing that a lot as we go through the coming months before the first of the year, or whenever they pass the SEC approves what FINRA already approved on their whole board. So here we go, guys. We got 28 seconds. Good luck. Again, I'm not recommending you trade right here. I'll come back. We're going to look for some consolidation trading 15 to 20 minutes into the market. The longer, really, the better. I always do better after 10:30. So 7 seconds. Good luck if you are attempting anything at the open, or for the rest of the day, for that matter. Whole and half dollar lines popped up, as you can see. So I'm watching this dip action here to see how far it's going to dip. It's just going up now. Now remember that your candlesticks aren't going to keep up with it, so you want to look at the actual price here at the open. So there's the VWAP shot straight down. So it did go up. There was a tiny bit of a dip, and then it went up. I guess they're considering this pre-market dip the move, you know, so people are getting in on that dip. But again, these are market orders that are preset, so you got to kind of wait for these to wash out before it starts to reveal itself. So no first candle trade. So we're on to the next candle. And it's getting more sketch to go to try to trade this early on any kind of price action. You could see it moving in here on the magnet. Here's where all your volume is. The magnet pulled up. I'm not going to chase that for sure. And I'm not going to go short. So I'm kind of stuck at this stock. What did NVIDIA do? So NVIDIA went down. Tesla went down. Amazon down. Apple's like even money, basically, it's saying. Palantir went down. Hood went down. AMD went, it's even money. I sold out of that position yesterday for a loss, and it's gone up $2 since then. Annoying. But that's the nature of the game. So yeah, this is still going up. I don't trust this at all, so I'm not going to jump into that move. Let's take a look at Tesla. So there wasn't anything there that, I mean, maybe some of you were able to capture something there. It wasn't enough for me to take a chance. So Tesla is now starting to go up since I looked at that. I do think this is going to go up today, Tesla. If you want to do a swing, it's up to you. Do your own due diligence. I would swing this up. I already have, as a matter of fact. So I'm counting this to go up. Let's see. If for scalping purposes, it's already made a nice big move here. See if we can get early action here. Little afraid of chasing this before. We need a couple of pullbacks first. And really, we need to wait. We should wait.
Getting a pop here to the high, $7.29 now. Bravo India Alpha Foxtrot. Earlier press release from the company.
It's got MRM moving over there. Wow, that just moved when I wasn't looking. So this is interesting to do a pullback here. Let's see if we get it below the 32. No, it held the 32 level. Let's try again. There it goes. I'll go ahead and try that move. Let's see if I have a chance for a recoil there. Yep, we got a quick 20 bucks on that, chasing it. Seems to be making a nice, strong move here. It's not done. So now I got it below this, a whole dollar lower than this when I picked up the trade. So this is really chasing it. So you got to wait for a little bit of a pullback. We had a pullback, and I mean, you don't have to wait. You could be doing this. You know, I'm just telling you what I would do, what I am going to do. I'm going to look for a pullback here. It went down to 74 cents for a second, 32.74. All right, I'll try it there. Got it at 70 there, and I'm looking for a recoil up. I've got a little bit of a cushion if it decides to plummet. Yep. Not doing what I wanted it to do right away, which gets me more concerned to hold this. It's coming down to the same, like, how do we call this nonsense? I'm watching the level 2 closely, guys. I just saw a rebound there that was good, and then it just dropped right away. But it's swinging a lot, so I got up to 40 bucks on that. It's a little more dangerous to trade this right now, so it might make a bigger pullback. So let's see. No, it is still, again, if you're on a swing on this, you're going to do good. Set your profit, obviously. I set my profit at, I think my profit was at 340 or 442, I think is what I set it at based on data. But you guys should do your own thing. That'll give me a good 12, 13K today, if it makes it. Now, you can do a lot of these with a trailing stop. With something like Tesla, it needs to be a big trailing stop, obviously, because you'll get, shaken out on just a quick dip of $3 or something, So you want to have like a $4 or $5 trailing stop and then be able to handle that. Look at this go, huh? But then you're getting into like chasing this. So it could really get you and get a flush that goes down $3 here. So, careful if you're just starting to ride this up. I'm looking for a dip down in the 433s somewhere. Mid would be better. Doesn't look like it's going to do it.
Coming up at 10, Michigan consumer sentiment.
Any news on Tesla? It's just only good news on Tesla right here. I'm going to try to get in there at 71. Didn't pick me up. Canceling. That time I got it at 59, which was not bad there. I think, unless it's just going to drop here. That's where I was looking to get it, was the 50 cent range. but I'll hold this a little longer into a bigger move up. I had a $20 profit there. Let's see if we can get it back over the 34. Yeah, there. I'm going to go ahead and not overstay my welcome. So $79 on that trade, on this stock so far. And this is just scalping now. So I'm looking for the dip and scalping up. And it's level 2 and whole and half dollars. That's what I'm looking at. And the news, which basically says it should continue to go up. And we're getting bigger dips now. So be careful here. That could be a great spot or the beginning of a bigger flush. So watch out. Watch out. So down here, that's at the, and it did hit there and turn around at the 432.50 seems like a mark that it should hold. It should hold. That's right at the magnet, and it did seem to hold it. Let's see if it's going to hit it again. Shorters are jumping on here, guys, so you got to wait for this. I want to see if it holds that 50 again. Nope, it broke at that time briefly, so watch out. It's going to flush more. So there's your 9 moving average. I don't mean like go short, it's going to flush. I mean just be careful going long because it's making a bigger move down. There it goes. So let's look down to the 20 or this 31, 431 to see if it can hold that level. I would not short this right now. It's up to you guys, but I think it's going to rebound in a minute. We just got to figure out where that's going to be. So there's the 31.50. Is it about to go? Through the 32, you might see me jump in on a market just so I'm in, because it could go all the way back up. Nope. So it's going down toward the 20 and the 31. Is the 31 going to hold it? We're getting a 30-cent recoil, so you've got places to make a profit if you get in. No, it did not hold it, guys. We're at the 20 now. I'm just standing by. Just be careful. I mean, if you went short, then you're just clapping your hands and cheering. Wow, heading to the VWAP now. So that's at 430.50. We're heading to broke the VWAP. Wow, is there new news that came out on this? Because this is a fairly large pullback. I don't think so. So people are just taking profits. So, yeah, I mean, there's some logic to going short, but no, I don't think so. I would want to go long. I would need to see it break the VWAP and stay up there, and then I might think about jumping in. So it is going to break the VWAP right there at 430. It broke it. It pulled back. It broke it again. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and chase that. And that's definitely a risk because I went in market and got a pretty high price there. But I was thinking that it might go really fast up there, so I wanted to make sure I didn't lose it, the opportunity. When you're chasing it, that's always a danger. You can see it's swailing 40 to 50 cents, right? So no, it's pulling back. It's going to hurt me. I'm going to get out of this in a second. I'm just going to take a hit here. 50s, yeah, I'm just going to get out. So I just lost all that great money, but I would have lost it all if I stayed in it. So yeah, it looked like it was going to do it and it broke the VWAP. So I think that was it was an educated risks there to ride it back up, but no, it's not done. So I stayed green by, rolling the roulette wheel, so to speak. But now I'd like to see, before I try that little maneuver again, I want a couple of green candles. Again, the way this moves a lot of the time is you don't get that opportunity. Like you'll get a candle that goes up $3 at once. And I thought that might be it because I didn't understand the pullback of it really. But now, no. Now I want real confirmation with multiple 1-minute candles. And the market itself is showing up, as you can see. Now, one of the things that I changed, and I will make this script available, not yet, this is still a DTS script, is I got rid of, on the target, I got rid of the 9 the 9 candles showing what those candles were. I just really didn't see the purpose for that unless you're really training to read that, like some of the prop firms of the new traders. But if you're trading a little bit, you just need these target numbers, which are based on the last 9 candles, and you really need the spread. You don't need to count your pennies because you've got the active trader. But you want to know the spread of this, because that's helping you with your kind of recoiling right here. So looking at this data, trading the way that I'm trading here. So now we're getting into a reversal, which looks like it might be worthy. So I'm going to take a look at this to see if it can break the 430. We want to see a 5-minute go green too, guys. So a 15-minute, I think, is just green, right? Yeah, just a wide wicked green candle. So it's breaking the 430. Well, it almost did. Yeah, so it broke it so fast. So now I need a dip, or I've got to buy market. Ah, boy, I missed that move. So here it goes. Is it going to retrace the whole way? So we have to really be careful here, guys. So we're above the VWAP. We're at the 20 and the 9. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give that a shot at the 40 cents and see if that's going to keep going. We're going to look for that to keep going and get me back some of what I lost. Let's see. We'll hold it a little longer. It's going to make me red. I mean, I am really playing with fire here, as you can see, because what that just did is make a bear flag on the 1 minute, and now I'm red, So, so we're really near the open, right? All right, let me look at some other data on this stock here before I just jump out. Yeah, so the open was 28.30, 428.30. So we're below the open now. Oh, I'm down 120. I didn't even see that. Okay, so now my swing trade is might have kicked off the trailing stop. And yeah, that's not a good look here. So I'm thinking about how long I want to hold this in, how fast your fortunes can turn on you, huh? Had a nice green. I'm looking for I'm trying to look at a support levels here. And right now I'm just thinking $200 is where I'm going to stop. That's what I'm not going to add to my position here. It needs to turn around for me to even consider it. So that's a 27. Once the shorts get it, they really get it. So you gotta be careful here. Yeah, that's it. Well, that's too bad because I had a good trade there. I had a nice green day going there to get to our goal, and this took me out here. I should have just got out at the open is where it would have been the spot. So I'm going to not trade this for right now until it consolidates. Let's go to the there's no fear here. We'll get green again, but yeah, it's just when you see it go away, and I got cocky. I thought we could read this a little bit better. This looked like it was going to be a recovery, and instead it just made a nice little bear flag, and it shows you like, dude, you're trading a bear flag up. What are you doing? You should know your patterns. I know them, and this is where all of our data was too. You've got the 9, the 20, the VWAP. Everything's crossing right here. I thought it was going to cross up. I can't get into this even if it starts to show recovery. There's no way I'm going to beat my head against the wall twice. So let's look at some of these ones that are hitting the new scanner and see what we're getting over here as well. That's going down. That is not hard to borrow, I do not believe. No, easy to borrow. Okay. Yeah, that's not a tradable pattern. And I'm just looking at this like it's terrible, the way it's moving. What was our range of that last one? 26 cents in a minute. No, not good there. Let's try Marvel. Marvel I marked out. Earlier this morning. Wow, so it's dropping too. Oh, it made a good recovery on the 5 minutes. So this may be channeling here. Let's get a look at it. What's our time? Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing these so I don't get, although I can't blame how I lost in Tesla on the opening candle anyway. I can blame it on just trading without a clear consolidation level and just chasing it, just calling the dips and stuff. It just wasn't a prudent strategy. It did get that little excitement thing out of me though now, so I could settle down and make money. So let's take a look at this. So you look at that, it was a 24. There's 10 seconds. It only moved 4 cents. So it's a slower, now there you go. That's a decent, it's a slower, strike and recoil type of thing on your level 2. But it is doable on this stock. So let's see if we can get some real levels here. We're going to want to get a higher share size here. So we look at the 83.50 as a resistance, and it looks like it's going to break it. What's our news? Well, that's not great. Jim Cramer's news there. That's a good story there. It broke the 50. We don't have a catalyst as to why it might be moving up, just general up and down of the market, of a stock in the market. Does that make sense? That sounds stupid. I don't have clear defining data here. We have $1.5 and it's going up. So again, it's hard to I was making sure that it was tradable on the level 2, but we don't really have a good any type of a pattern other than play the dip and go up. That's all we got. I could play the dip, but this could just retrace back. We'd have to assume it could retrace all the way down here pretty quickly. So that's 60 cents off that position. Broke that 50 cents, nice and strong. If it gets back down there again, I could try it to dip off the 50 cents. There was 53. Just want to make sure it is holding in that upper level. Yeah, it's still going up. That would have been a good trade. I didn't pick it up because I was being a little conservative. Today I got to go in for my flu shot, which I'm not relishing. I had flu shots for years and they never affected me. And last year I got sick for like 2 days. And I was just like chills and fever. And I'm just like, man, did I get a shot so I could get the flu? And they said, no, that's a good thing, because you really would have had it bad, So your body's gearing up to really fight it. Almost took that dip at the 54. So let's see if this is beginning to be a pattern here, which will be nice if we have a tweezer. Again, I could have got that trade. So it's got some decent recoils here. Strikes and recoils. So strike down. Give me another chance at that. Nope. Heading up toward the 84 even mark. Just one red candle. And if it repeats that pattern, that's a lot of green about to happen. All of our levels are down here, so we're not going to get any much indicator help here.
50,000 range. Economy continues to move along, just not as a 123. That's Richmond Fed President.
All right. Didn't pick me up. I went all the way down to 45 and it didn't pick me up. So I got out of that because I wonder if that's about to be a bigger flush. So it's holding. Man, just didn't pick me up. I'd had a decent trade already, but it didn't pick me up. Staying down there a little longer. I hit 55 again. This might be a top, flat top here. 5 minutes red for the first time up there. So be careful on the dip here. Just wait a second. We're getting late enough now. We just have to be patient and look for the best possible setup here on this new style. Really, these are different stocks than the large cap. So what goes up must come down is not necessarily going to work the same way on these more volatile or range stocks. The way they ranged a little bit differently than the way the strategy was back tested on the large caps. So there'll be a lot of beta testing here to see if this is a good trading style.
637 shares up about 30% at the high. For Quebec, Michael Sandy.
And what happened with Tesla? It kept going down. Yeah, so glad I got out. Weird. Yeah, I know my trailing stop kicked, so I think I made a couple of bucks on it though, a couple thousand. Oh, it did come back. So we are making our first bit of a channel here. Let me mark that at the $0.75. Let's see if we can get some bouncing in here. We want to get it down before we go in, and I'm not going to go short yet. So, although short almost seems a better trade looking at this price action. No, just shorting up in here,
38%, no news on AQMS for Quebec, Michael Sandy, and shares are halted on a circuit breaker at the highs AQMS.
That is my Benzinga news reading, and I have a link for that, guys. It helps me out if you get it on my link. I went ahead and went in on the dip. It's a risk. Didn't pick me up. I'm going to get out. MACD's sending it down further, so I'm going to hold off. That's why I was saying short might be better up here. Seems like it's met its top. But yeah, Benzinga is a great news. It's what we all use. The story will come out so much faster than what you see it on Thinkorswim. And then they read how all the stocks are moving if you're one of those people that want to hop around. And there's just so much. I haven't done I want to make sure when I do a tutorial about it that I do it the way I would use it, not just this is how Benzinga works, because they do that on their own. They have their own videos for that. But how would a day trader use it? How would a scalper use it? There's many different ways to use it, especially if you're doing options too. Man, so I would tend to get in down here normally. I just don't know this stock very well. We're above the market magnet here. This is support at that 83 level. Yeah, I need to see some definitive action of what it's going to do here. I need more of a pattern to trade this. We got under 100,000 volume, which means it's probably closer to 300,000 because we're only seeing about 35% of the actual, not even counting alternative routing, which will move the stock, but yet you won't see the volume. So you have to keep that in mind, that this is probably 200,000 to 300,000 actually. So there's the 83, continually pounding on that 83, tempting. Again, I would rather go up here and go short, but I'm looking for it to recover off that 83. So there's definitely a 20-cent swale up that I could have captured if I trusted that level, which I don't yet, but I would have already had the trade. 200 shares, that's $40, you know, in a split second there, or 3 seconds. So we don't have as big of swales or recoils, and just, you know, that's when you'd up your share size to get the money that you would on the other ones that give you the level 2 action faster. So again, we are starting to trade stocks with lower priced, small caps and mid caps based on the new PDT rule about to come into effect, and gearing up for all the people that can, you know, that we can all trade it. I guess what we're gearing up for is how many people are about to enter the market, and those people that enter the market are going to be trading lower caps. And it's going to be like an amazing resurgence for retail traders. That's what we all think. So I'm trying to get over in an area where we may see still get the consolidation, some of the safety of trading large caps and not momentum, but then go to where the people are going to be. So you're going to see this volatility in the level 2 as soon as that the SEC, you know, give it a week or two that all your platforms gear up and you can start doing margin, and people who only have $2,000 can margin up to $8,000, and you can get a lot of shares, 100 shares almost, of just this stock. And so those people are going to want to be, and hopefully they just don't all blow their accounts instantly. But I think a lot of them are prudent people that have been trading, you know, having to trade much lower share size because they, or only doing 1 or, you know, like 4 trades a week or something. So that's all about to change, where they're going to be able to trade all day long. So you're going to see massive volume increase. That's my prediction. Okay, I'm going to wait for it to get up here, and I'm going to think about shorting off up here. There's its tweezer move at the top. There's its flat top, the actual location. So I'm going to get rid of that $0.75 one, actually. That's the actual location that we're looking in between the half and whole dollar, 83.50 to 84, and there's an area where it's stalled. So shorting right above that would probably be a good call, because you'd get another stall at the 84 most likely. We have a MACD sent it down. That was right on there. I still haven't taken a trade on this stock. I haven't found. I tried down here, didn't get it. Spread's pretty tight. You could do market here and make sure you get in. All right, so I'm gonna wait here. So that's it. Hit 80. It hit 70. I saw 77 on the ask. If I went ask, it needs to. It almost flat topped, right? It hit that area again. You know, a couple of them didn't make it to the top. That seems to be the spot where there's a liquidity pool around it, right in this area here, or lack of. Let's see what happens. Give it a second. Patience, patience. That's what it is. Get the right setup. Make sure your share size isn't too high, that you can hold it into like a 25 to 50 cent move, and you're not going to freak out. Here we go. Turning around. So that it keeps hitting that 70-cent range and just turning around. Oh, is that it? So this is the spot, man. It doesn't want to break that level.
S&P futures getting a pop to the highs right now. It's up about 40.
How is that going to move these small caps when the futures are going up? There we go. Okay, so it hit the 82. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead for my first go at this and see what we can do here. I got it at 82. So if I go market, you know, that's what I'm going to get right there. So taking too long here, and I tend to want to get the profit, $12. I think it's just going to go right back, so that's why I did that. That took a while. We're past 10 o'clock. I did my first trade on another stock based on consolidation. So it did hold here, you know. It did reject here just a little bit above it. You can see some of these wicks hit that level. I could have held into that move. It did seem like it was about to make a bigger move up, so I just took the profit real quick. I kind of want to let this play out a little bit more. Let me look at the MRM. This hit the scanner on Benzinga. Yeah, that's just straight down. Okay. I think, did I look at this earlier and didn't like it? Maybe I did. And that's hard to borrow or not even available. Okay, so I'm going away from that again. Let's go back to, what was I on? Marvel, right? All right, let's take a look at Marvel again and see if we're getting more validation on this consolidation level here. Oh, ooh, look at that go down. So had I held that, I would have had a fantastic trade. So many people still send me emails that you don't hold it long enough. It's like, okay, are you green at the end of the day? Are you personally green before you judge how I trade? They're like, I'm not putting this in the comments, but I just feel like, you know, we should have a discussion about this, Professor. Only the best intentions. It's like, no, I get it. But, you know, people trade differently, and it's really easy to Monday morning quarterback, right? I mean, but I do agree that I'm very conservative when streaming. You're not seeing me level down, you know, level up as much, you know, to more shares. I'm very conservative. So now let's see. In other words, I'll take the profit, you know, and just make sure it's a profit rather than write it out and for a bigger profit. Just say, let's go green, let's get to our goal, and then call it a day. So interesting, if this is going to be a bigger move. The 5-minute, it didn't reverse on that rickshaw man on the 5-minute. Definitely looks like it's a bigger move down here. We're right at the VWAP, so we could play it long here. I think going down to the magnet would be a little safer to go long here. Oh, it's about to go up, though. Going to break the 83 again. I'd go and market. I'm thinking market if it breaks the 83. I just want to look. The level 2 is just completely not moving here. So it's a different feel. I have to wait out the trade for quite a while here. Again, I'd like to get in long down here at this historical data from an earlier day and where the magnet is too. You can see there's price action below the magnet, so we're still pulling us down here. Broke the VWAP, barely moving. You get into a position, you're kind of held hostage for a while. You need it to start moving again. It's just sort of sitting here. Wow, look at the volume when it split in half there. It was 70,000, it's 40,000 now. That's why you're just barely seeing this move. Everybody's jumped to other stocks. Wow, spread got bigger. Here's your spread up here too, if you don't want to look at the level 2. So that is where I was thinking about it. It was right there. It's still fading. The bid's below the 35. Okay, they're both below the 35. Yeah, it's still fading. Let's take a look at that fib. It broke the magnet. It's going to go back up. You know, we just got to figure out has it stopped? So a lot of volume just jumped in there. That was interesting. That candle went up higher. I think a bunch of people are trying to buy this dip. I'm going to go ahead and go in on that dip, 27, and hope that I'm not making a mistake here. So I saw the volume increasing on the upswing, but now it's not. So let's see. Pull back toward the magnet. There we go. That was $24 for a second there. Now it's rethinking that situation. I don't think I would have been able to get out on the ask, so I would have had to get anywhere near that 20, would have had to have been market, which stalled me a minute. So it did come to a stop there at a rickshaw man. Volume coming in, magnet jumped down, then jumped up. It's all over the place here. Signaling down more than up right now. I had a good trade, didn't take it, held longer, thinking it was about to be a bigger rebound. But the longer it takes down here, the less likely that is. Anywhere in the $20 range, I will take a hit. I'll take a trade there. Yeah, so $35 on that one. So we're on our way to a nice recovery. And let's see if it's really going to turn around. We can ride it back up on dips. Yeah, so I basically, when I say anywhere in the 20, I was looking for a 10 cents off my position to take the 10 cent. So you saw that the target is 9 here. So, get this risk oscillator. And I will make another one available without all the stuff on it. Without all the 9 average candles that you don't really need to see. I mean, I don't think so, what every candle was. That's what I was originally asked to create, and that's what I did. So that's going to be there forever. But you may not want to fill up your chart with all that stuff. Really, a real good sign of a turnaround here. Yep. So if it breaks that 8250, guys, we might want to just look for opportunities to go up with it. Not going to jump in on a dip here because that's what we call a breakdown off that level. So now that level is based on some historical data. I looked at it earlier and it seemed really strong. So it broke the 35 cent. So I'm more interested in looking at a dip down here now. Let me get some smoothing level here to be about where we'd be looking to do a dip. In that zone would be safer for a dip than in the middle of it. There's 25. Is it going to hold it again? No. Okay. Now we have a whole new ball game. So how about that fib? Ooh, boy. Huh? That fib's probably... I'm going to go off the fib if I can get it there at 08. Okay. I'm looking for a recoil up on this. Taking a chance, obviously, as all trading is.
KODK Kodak, more highs now. Kodak 673 up about 8.5%. Kilowatts per delta kilo.
No, the recoil is more down than up as I watch this, so it's not good for me to hold this much longer. If I get any kind of a green, $2 would have been a slip. It is holding the fib, but it's dropping, so I need to get out of this play. I'll take that smaller one. So I got a little bit of money there, just to make sure, because it looked like it was going to drop. Now it'll prove me wrong. I was at 07, so yeah, I should have waited a little longer. Oh, well. But we may be, so it really channel hopped. Unless our channel is going to be the 8250. So this is beta testing trading here, guys. So I'm looking for how to read the price action on these small caps by using the RV strategy. Can we adapt it? Like I said yesterday, we're pushing hard for the MMC to do a new book based on the new PDT ruling that's about to come out. It's going to change trading, and we really need some guidance from a lot of pros to show what are the new patterns for these things. So, which will reveal themselves as time goes on, right? Now, thinking about short, but this could be the big retracement we've been waiting for. Would have been a fantastic trade had I held that into the had I held that long at 82.09. Did I have 8.08? I think I had it at. But 100% on this one, which I think is 2 trades or 3 trades. I don't know. So waiting it out, you know, that's. I know I'm missing some trades here, but I'm waiting out for a more sure setup on the what I'm looking at as the price action here. So if it holds this fib and starts to rebound, I would tend to go long. So there's 82.05. It's got to hold it, guys. We want it to hold that level. Then we have something to go by. It's really near where it dropped below too after at the open. But now we're seeing sort of a new hitting the bottom of the market magnet and hitting that 82 even mark. It just broke it. Okay, so I'm going to hold tight, take a breath. You got the fib and you got the even dollar right next to each other. I'm thinking about going short if it gets up here again. It has no trend right now, but it's about to be a downtrend if it keeps punching here a little lower. So that hit all the way up into 35 cents before it turned around. And then up here it was up to 40, all the way up to 46 cents. So anywhere up there would be really safe to short, I would think, for at least a recoil opportunity. And then you got to watch it close. Let me take a look at this. Stronger volume going up. Let me take a real better look at this meter here. Settled down at like just over 50,000 in volume. Not enough buyers telling me to go long for sure for a prolonged long movement like this is calling out. I just, I don't know. There's just not enough strength as it goes up. Targets are even money here, 12 and 13 cents. Spreads around 5 cents. Seems like the market maker's doing a decent job on the spread, getting it in the middle here. What's that level at? 81.90. Barely moving. I mean, as far as what we're used to. So the 82 even held it. I call it hold it if it's within a few cents of it and it turns it around. I'm looking at the even dollar and the half dollar as where the crowd trades. Now we just broke past the 15-minute, okay? So they're both green, but the 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour are all red. But we just broke that level to see if that's going to change things, because a lot of people only trade the 15-minute candle. This is the multi-chart alignment indicator. These and these lines are connected and the same indicator, which helps you trade with the crowd. Really getting some good consolidation here to start to play. If it keeps holding this level, this will be great. I want to be a little higher before I short it. Up here, it seems to be stopping at the 26 cents. This is a very, very tight channel, so that's why 200 shares is more advisable to try to make $20 at least on the channel, 10-cent. It's more than a 10-cent channel, but 15, 16-cent channel, whatever it is, 17 cents. Then you can make some decent money on a small, short move and not overstay your welcome. It's punching up. Let's see what it does here. Nope, it faded. 5-cent trade I could have made there. 6 cents. That's $12. Okay, it faded off that level yet again. Made over a 10-cent trade. Had I picked it up here on a short. So keep an eye on that stuff, because that's what your goals are. Just try to make the $10, $20 little steps until you get your, the money you need for the day. It tells you right here what to look for. That's why these targets are good on the risk oscillator. So you can see price action is above this on average on the market magnet here. There's the magnet. So theoretically, this is going to call it back up. Even if it goes down, it's going to call it back up into here. Where you'd not want to see is a lot of these blue lines coming in down here. You wouldn't want to see that. But right here, it's good for to play it long as it gets back down toward the fib or down here toward the 82. Just killing us with no action here, right in the middle of where you don't want to take a trade based on the channeling here. Ceilings and floors, ceilings and floors, ceilings, floor. So there's our ceiling. Here's our attic. Here's our floor. Here's our basement. Here's hell. No. Excuse me. Oh, wow. There you go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go for that if it picks me up at 35 cents. Nope. It didn't at that level. I tried it. It's holding. See if it gets a swale up, or is it going to swale down? Swale down. Got to get out. It went down. So I probably could have picked that up for like 33 cents and had a great trade if I went market. So it did tap there once before. A little bit of a channel hop. And it explains what I said earlier, that it was due to go up based on this magnet. It takes a little while to get revealed, but the indicators are telling you what's the higher probabilities. That's all. Just the probability. There's no exact. If I do go short, I would get the recoil quickly. Seems to be starting to make a move back up here. Bigger moves, so I don't want to be holding a short position waiting for bigger profits. And going long down here is a better probability of a good trade now. If you get down to the 82 even dollar or even below. Here it goes again. So it was 34. Only on the market maker, it was hit like 30 cents, I think was the best I saw there. Because I am going to go market, so I get in it, but yeah, there it dropped. So could have made that trade too. Yeah, it keeps giving, 8 to 12 cent recoils here. Market to market, I wonder what would happen if you just market in, market out. How much slippage you'd really get here. Waiting around, guys. That's what we're doing on this new type of trading. Now, when the liquidity starts to come in, when that PDT thing kicks in, it's going to be these stocks like this will be moving a lot faster, I believe. And we're going to be ready for them. We're going to have the right scanners. We're going to have the right strategy, scalping strategy to do it. And this is sort of that beta testing that to just get used to the overall ranges of these stocks, and then they'll just go faster in their ranges. It will be interesting to see if it gets that sort of meme mentality, like a lot of super excitement on zero news, I don't know. what will happen, but I do think there'll be a lot more people entering the trading market that are going to make it a career. Like I'm now it's here. Now I can do it. Now I'm going to support the family. Good intentions. We've all been there. And a lot of us make it. And a lot do not. More do not, unfortunately. I like that old Chris Rock joke where he's saying, like, when he said, oh, you know how you stop murder, stop crime, you make bullets cost like $50,000 a piece. You know, then when somebody's in an argument and you're yelling, I'm going to go back and I'm going to earn some money, I'm going to come back and blow your head off. In 2 years. That's a funny bit. Okay, so here we are. We're down where I was saying. I didn't pull the trigger. No, I thought about that the way I was talking about the upcoming volatility that I really don't know for sure, but if people will react on emotion or, you know. I way prefer going short. Get up here and let me go short. 32. Come on. One more punch up. Didn't do it. Yeah, the market maker didn't even hit 30 cents. There it goes. I'm going to take that. Darn, it jumped. It went right back down. I'm going to get out. So that was a little tiny trade. I just didn't, I wanted my position to be higher. So just a quick recoil after all that, but it was still green. Remember, you don't pay trading fees, so you don't have to worry about that. You do have to live your life and not spend all your time in front of a screen, though. Yeah, the point was no emotional decisions don't work if you can't afford it, right? So will the PDT, you suddenly can afford it? You know, it's not really because you're on margin. And will you make these moves that you never would have made if you were trading more conservatively, you know, just because you can, you know, just, and then what happens? What's the fallout of that, right? Well, in the Chris Rock world, it's out of control violence is what it is. So that's 31 again. Boy, yeah, I gotta go for it. I know it's going up, but I'm gonna go for it. Look at that. That was a decent trade. So that was a $20 one. You saw it. We were looking for that very thing to happen on the recoil. So I said I prefer to go short. Yes, and it may go further for all you people going to email me. But that was more of a guarantee, so I took the guarantee, you know. This is what we want to do. We want to put money in the bank for you and not get greedy. I always say, don't get greedy, guys. How much money do you need a day? 50, 100, 500? Figure it out. Adjust your share size. Don't get greedy. Stair step it to your goal. And don't follow anybody other than to learn, but not to like, I'm going to trade just like that person trades. Doesn't work. You gotta learn yourself. Why is that person taking those trades? You know, you need to know that answer, and then you can always do it on your own, you know. And then I don't have the responsibility of when my trades go bad, thinking about all these people that are following me exactly. And what does that feel like? Not good. Nice. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go in there. Very risky. Looking for the recoil up. I'm not going to look for a lot. Something. Please, something. Now you put out the prayer indicator. It is definitely strong going down, which is slightly concerning. All right, let me just look at where we're at here. Should have probably marked that out a little better before I Yeah, before I should have found my my max loss area. So I'm at 400 now. Up at 81.95. There goes all my profit. So I will hold this into a pretty big move here with 400 shares. I will hold this. I would say the 81.50 would be a concern if it breaks that. Yeah, the way it hit, I knew I was taking a bigger chance. The way it broke the magnet there, I knew I was taking a chance. So I blew the cushion, but it in 2 minutes it could be way above where I need it to be. So I'm watching it kind of climb up on the swale, hoping it will swale upward. There's 79 on the ask, 80 for a second, 81. Stop there for a second. But you're always taking a chance. See, I'm just taking a chance. We are beta testing this, so this strategy here this is not really a viable channel strategy on the 5-minute. It was creating a channel that I was betting on right there when I took that trade, and it kind of channel hopped down here. So let's see if it can recover. Going back up now. Let's get up there, guys. I'll hold it into, I could do a lesser loss, obviously, but I'll hold it into an actual trade here. But I won't get greedy. I'll just get out for a decent number. 400 shares, you don't want to mess around, so it could be a lot of money very quickly. Not on this stock, apparently. There's $17. So that would have been a good trade to get out if I wanted to. That's a little better. So, wow. Did that ever slip or what? Because I was at 70-something when I took that trade. 400 shares, it gave me a nice big slippage there. I thought I was going to be closer to $100, but whatever. Something to consider. I should have held it longer with that in mind. Next time I would do that. But it came out to be a green trade by averaging in down here, which was a risk, but I thought we were going to get some retracement back up. At this point, it's more of a retracement than a recoil. And now I will look to short off this level again up here. We've got new data. So I'm looking at this differently. Maybe the fib's going to be where it's going to, the $82 is going to be where it wants to turn around now. So we have new data, but we need to wait it out and see, is it going to go back to where it was, or is it going to start pounding off a new flat top right here? I like the fact that it didn't just fade away like a knife, that we're giving us more trading opportunities. That's why I'm not jumping ship yet on this. Wow, Nvidia's down $3. Tesla went back down. I was really surprised about that, about Tesla particularly, about it all. We had a lot of conversations here in the studio about Tesla, and everybody thought it might be, close to 440 or higher by end of Friday day today. But it's, it still could happen. Apple's even money it here. AMD's still kind of sliding. Hood is down $3. All right. Again, we're waiting as time is ticking by. I'm okay, with the time, guys, on this new style. We had an account blow up. I got put under a lot of pressure when I didn't trade the... I didn't quarterback because I was here with you guys. And then somebody blew up an account for a lot of money. And there was an inference that I was not doing what I should be doing. And there's a lot of... there's a lot going on there because I'm not really getting paid, per se, to do that. But... it's just like I always say I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't even go into how that deal might work. But yeah, there's some responsibility besides just caring about people. I don't want anybody to blow their account of hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, that's an emotionally hijacked situation. There's a lot of people besides me in the room, you know. And it's sad. And that's why max loss is so important. And it really hit me hard. I didn't like it, but things like that just make you want to trade in a little private room all by yourself. Like, leave me out of it. I don't want to be responsible for you.
NUAI hitting new highs now. New Era Energy up about 57%, $2.19.
You see these guys that, some of the guys that I really respect, they're just trading like $1 on their trades, but they're calling trades like really accurately and having a good time. And they just say, "Oh, I made $5," and they're so exuberant and so happy, and it's just like there's no pressure, right? And you see them live on YouTube, just like a couple of bucks, and it's just like they walk away skipping, and you know. But I'm sure there are people that take those people's strategies for little tiny share size and put 1,000 shares on it. And it just doesn't work the same way, guys. You know, it just doesn't work the same way. And in the end, you are responsible. You have to be responsible for yourself. You can just take information from people like me and throw it out or put it in your, you know, mix it around and with everything else, or just say, this guy's a jerk. I don't want to remember anything he said, or I want to remember everything he said, but I want to use it on how I trade. Okay, so we're looking down here again. There's kind of where it wicked to. And when I mark these levels, these are not real, I mean, should not be real respected. I'm going to go back here so I can see where this, so this is where this level was. Yeah, that's a decent level to look at, 8150. That is a, you know, that is a strong point where it turned around. So it turned around the wrong way, of course, and a little bit above it. So that's what we're looking at, is that level right there. That's line 1. And then here's the other one, line 7. Those are both, oh no, that's today, right? So line 1 right here. Yeah. Just slowing down and seeing where we're at. So this level would be a spot where I would take comfort in going long for at least a recoil. But this was just to see if to mark the spike. So now it's just get rid of it because it's worthless.
Priced at $4. $6.20 now the high on MGN.
He just say MGM? He did, didn't he? I was looking at Intel earlier. Let me hop for a minute just to see if that can consolidate that. I think he said MGM, but I'm not sure that's what he said. No, because that's more than $6. I don't know what he said. It's not hitting the, let me look at the open session momentum and see if that's different. No, that's the same. Newsfeed MGN. That's why. Oh. I put MGM. So, oh, that's not right. All right. What are we doing here, guys? Wow, it's apparently not going to. All right, I'm looking over. The wire definitely says MGN. Oh, right there. Let's just get a look at this for a second. Oh, is this an IPO? Um, okay, so this is a brand new stock. Interesting. Makes it interesting, but hard to call. Let's take a look at it. These are dangerous because they can just fade in a split second. Let me just take a look at this for a second here. Spread says spread switches from like 3 cents to 11 cents to. I'm going to go ahead and try this, guys, just for the halibut, as they say in the fishing world. There it was. It just made a big 10-cent swale. And then it dropped. You see that? Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm just like,
Highs now, Megan Holdings, IPO, $6.86, up 70% at the highs. Michael Golf, November. GPN Payments Group Holding receives final MFSA approval for acquisition of the Payments Group. That's Golf Papa, November.
wish it would have picked me up there. Would have been a good trade, but I think I might have to go market. It's got quite a spread, though, to just this is chasing. This is just chasing something, so it's very, very, very risky if you're even thinking about copying me. Kind of waiting to see if Marvel consolidates a bit more, and I'll come back to it. This could be a big $100 hit before I knows what happens, you know. So, what was that? I don't know what just happened to the level 2 on me here. Okay, so it's not functioning correctly on me here. I don't know what's going on. There's the. Oh, did it halt? It halted. It must have halted. Yeah. Wow, I didn't think it was going to halt because it didn't go 70 cents. Oh, I guess it did. You figured 10%. He didn't call it, but that's a halt. Wow. Okay, we're just going to get away from that. Let us move on. Go back to Marvel. I was like, what's going on? I thought it had to go like, since it switched candles, I thought it had to go on another like 30 or 40 cents at least, but apparently not. Wow. So it did respect that level down there, huh? Look at that. Now we're getting into the shorting area. I went away for too long. Darn, that was the top at that 35. It just keeps rejecting up there. Oh. It's not where I wanted it. That's I had it up at the 37. That was a bad fill for me. The market didn't serve me well on that. I'm looking for a recoil here. Oh, I only have 100 too. Okay. So I just wasn't prepared for what I did here. But I'm glad I only have 100 shares right now. So, yeah, but I can average in if I feel like this is going to help me here. So it's up 10 cents the wrong way on the recoil. So that's not a recoil. That's an attack. That's a lunge. Looking at the 50 cent to maybe save me. Rejected off that. I'm going to probably just get out of this trade. I don't want to average into this price action. Can it reject off this 50 cent? Looks like it wants to now. Giving it a minute to see if it rejects off the 50 cent mark. Yeah, I got a bad fill to begin with, like 6 cents off where I wanted. Thinking about taking a lesser loss there. Finally, it's moving the right way. Okay, so I'll hold it a little longer to see if it's going to make a bigger down move here. No, it's getting support now at that level that I'm just below. Going to break that support. Get into the 20 cents range there. Get down into the 20 cent. It's not doing it. It keeps pounding up. I'm going to get out. So I took a loss on that trade. So didn't like the way it was moving. It looked like it was going to keep going up, and it did. So I'm glad I got out. Look for a better short, perhaps up here. Well, now it would have got me. It went down to 27 cents for a second there. Hit the magnet. It's interesting. He was calling halts on other stocks, but then he didn't call a halt on that MGN when it did halt. It kind of threw me for a second that it was halted. I have a halt. If I'm going to keep doing stupid stuff like that, I should bring that other script I have that shows when they're going to halt. For Thinkorswim doesn't really have it. It's a custom script that I made for everybody. You can still get it under the free scripts on DTS. It's a DTS. Like the one I have right now, this one, the target and spread, this has not been released yet, but this is the one that is this one up here without the 9. This is now, I went ahead now that I had the space and I put the multi. Yes. That's old news, my friend. Come on. Old news. He just mentioned that it was halted there. Yeah. Anyway, that's the multi-chart alignment, and then this is the 2 target spreads. This is really slow, so it's, oops, yeah, I want to get more share here. You'd almost want to go 400 shares or something on a stock that moves like this once you get into the zone, or that's going to take too long to get to the goal that you need to get. I need to get out of a hole of a couple $100, so I'll probably switch to back to the very stock that burned me, Tesla, at some point here during the day when I see that it's kind of made its stop. It looks like it might have stopped. All right, let's see. Is that, oh, it's hard to borrow. This is why it's bad. We can't do anything but chase it like they do on the momentum guys, you know, so it's just, and Thinkorswim is not a great platform to do. I'm not even going to keep messing around with it. No. I'm getting a little FOMO here because it's taken so long to make a move on this stock. This is what we might be up against. But again, when the people come in, right, we want to be ready to rock and roll with them, because there'll be so many hundreds of thousands of new traders trading with us every morning. And we want to be ready to capitalize on the way this is going to get. This recoil strategy will be going so fast when everybody jumps on the same stocks, you know, that hit the scanners and that are cheap enough to trade. I mean, you could trade 100 shares of this no problem if you had, it's not a no problem, but right about 100 shares if you had $2,000 minimum. I think most people will have more like 4 or 5. You'll have 20,000, means you could go 200 shares on this stock. So that means how many more people are going to be going like, yeah, I can make, $200 in a couple hours, and it's $100 an hour, Yay. Then go about my job or life. So we're back to this channel between these levels, 826, $0.25 down to 82 even. Seems to hold that 82 even again. Didn't break down. There's a nice tweezer move. All right, you guys are sticking with me, so I'm going to stay here, and most of you are still here. Took a breather from the large share size group, which were working some things out. I still trade, but I'm just not doing it much with a big large group at this very particular moment. So I will probably jump on and get this even for Charlie, who's with me here, so that she's green today.
Take chickenpox shots separately, hepatitis B shot at 12 or older. Take vaccine in 5 separate medical visits. Pregnant women should not use Tylenol unless absolutely necessary.
That Tylenol thing is so stupid. No evidence. No evidence. Sorry, that's my opinion. Just social media evidence about Tylenol. Just crazy that stock dropped. I mean, God, normally there'd be all these lawsuits, but since it's the president, there can't be. I am not a Bobby Kennedy fan. Sorry. First one. Yes, not this current guy.
MGN, more highs now, 96% at $7.98.
Wow. So it went up another buck. MGN did. Looking to go long off this level, guys. I'm gonna go ahead. So I got it at 03. So, yep, it broke it, but I'm hoping for a recoil up. Am I just going to get these wrong? This might be another one where I go to 400 shares and then ride it back up when it gets, if it gets low enough for me to think about it. So it just broke the even dollar. I'm just 3 cents above it. This is where it hurt me before, the same situation, and then it turned around. There's the market magnet. Low, right there. That's the overall range of the 50%. Again, I think this might need to be adjusted for small cap as well. This was back tested for large and mega cap, so that'd be interesting to see how it plays here. Had a nice cushion here, so I'm not really hurting yet, but I don't think I'd go into averaging up unless I saw a turnaround here to go to 400 shares. So that's my position roughly. Magnet turned it around. I'm starting to like the magnet there. Wow, keep going. I like that, the way that was moving. Okay, so I didn't get too bad a slip. Made the $100 on this stock. Waited that out and got a $25 trade there. So that was cool. Of course, it could still go up, but I think that was enough to take the money and run. I'll trade a little bit longer, guys, on this, and then I'm going to have to. I see some of you are heading off to whatever you got to do next. We get an overall look at things. Tesla's down $3, roughly $2.50. Nvidia down a couple of bucks from open. Apple up $1 from open, but down from close. So it's like just pretty much nothing. AMD is down from close and open, and I think that's going to continue to fade. Unfortunately, that's why I got out of it. Now I want it to fade because I don't want it to go shoot straight up right after I sold. You know how that goes, right? No one will profit. I don't know anybody who's holding a long in AMD, so I'm not wishing anybody ill will. Okay, I'm going to look to short up here again if it gives me some shorting areas here. There's our VWAP. There's the top of the magnet. Anywhere up in here I would absolutely short. It's getting me more and more thinking about it. There's the 35 mark coming up. It's really going up strong, so let's look for a little higher, hit 38, and only 35 on the market maker, 37 on the market maker. How high can we get there? As close as to 50 cents as possible. 30, is it going to fade? Looks like it's starting to fade off. Come on. Go higher. Go higher. 38. Market maker hit 38 for a second. 35. 37. Yeah, it's dropping. Come on. Show some backbone. Get up there. And then get us scared and fade. After I get in 39. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take that. 37. All right, well, that's not that bad. I'll hold that into a move that hopefully will drop back down into the 20 cents, in the 20 cent area. Meaning 82.27 or something. High here. Shorting 200 shares at 82.37, looking for a recoil into 82.27 or around that area, depending on how it looks. There's a small victory right there. Not enough for what I'd like. Wow, it's just stalling here. Here we go. Let's get a bigger, let's break down into the breakdown. Breakdown. I'd love to see a big fade here. No. That's not a big fade. That is a gravestone, which is usually a good sign of a reversal. Some people would call it a shooting star or an evening star. It looks more like a gravestone. There's the grave. There's the stone. Learn your patterns, the candlestick pattern playbook. This gives me more courage to hold into the move for a little deeper. And now we call this courage under fire. Come on. Do you have to just, as soon as I say something that makes sense, do you have to make me look stupid? Do you have to, Mr. Puppet? Come on. Just cross that 5 minute too. I refuse to call you master, but I will call you puppet. Oh my God. Come on. You are trading against the professor. You have no chance. You will make me money. I command it. I can do a Charlton Heston voice. 10 times you've seen the wrath of God, and still you do not believe? There we go. That was decent. See that? Charlton Heston did it. That's what Charlton Heston gave me the money, man. He's the man. That was from 10 Commandments, if you didn't know. But, okay, guys, I'm going to call it there for now. Hopefully you did good. I'm going to be trading a little bit more to get nice and green overall. And have a great weekend. I'm still trying to get other programming out, but just so much going on. I haven't been in the space to do it. But we're moving along every morning and doing pretty good, and I'll give you an update on that. We have a couple of trading days after the weekend before the month ends, and then we'll come up with a plan for the following month. So, again, thanks for being with me. Go green out there, guys. Be careful the rest of the day, and I'll see you Monday.